Welcome, beautiful souls. This reading is what can you learn from each element. We're going to start off with fire, then water, earth, and air. Each reading I'll break down the associating zodiac signs as well as just the overall connecting energy to that element and those signs. We're going to be using 2 separate tarot decks for these messages today. And let's start off with a cleanse. Let's just focus on our breath, grounding ourselves, being present in our bodies, noticing any feelings, sensations, and trying to just get in alignment with ourselves. I'm using this red lighter for grounding and passion. Focus on your breath and adjust your position if you're uncomfortable in any sort of way, whether you're sitting, lying down, even standing. Take a nice big inhale through your nose and then out through your mouth. Try to get outside today, no matter the weather or what you're doing, even for a few minutes. You don't have to go far. Just stand, observe, breathe, get some sun. Make sure you're using your solitude wisely. Let's jump right into the fire element. Welcome to the fire element reading. The crystal is this red jasper. At least I believe it's red jasper. But fire is all about passion, strength. It's connected with the solar plexus as well. The solar plexus is connected to the fire element because this is our sense of self. It's our soul. It's our purpose. It's our self-worth, our self-esteem, and our self-control. It's our willpower, and it's also connected to the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius zodiac signs. These signs embody leadership, independence, strength, force, passion, power, and purpose. Fire is incredibly powerful, and each of these elements have their own energy and their own control. No matter how hard you try to control fire, you can't. So focusing on leadership, overall independence, whether it's financially or it's in a relationship or it's in a career, understanding your own internal strength and realizing that you have survived your worst days that you might not even have thought you would have. You have gotten yourself out of your hardest days as well. Even if you had some assistance from other people, it's still ultimately up to you to make that change and to take that action. We have the Tower, the Emperor, and the World. The messages are so clear. Your foundation is crumbling, something that you've been working on, and it's not leading you the stability that you're looking for. What you truly want, I feel like you're not actually doing. So you really have to put in the effort, the time, and the patience to watch it manifest and grow, but you need to be consistent with it. You can't do one thing and then wait 3 weeks to work on it again. It has to be every single day. Even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes at a time, it's still working on it. This is the time to realign yourself with what you're really looking for. I feel like you actually have more time than you realize, but managing your stress, taking a deep breath, journaling more often, just getting your thoughts out of your mind and into either paper or a digital copy. But with the World, you're coming into this end of a cycle, and I feel like you're trying to hold on to something that burned, and you're holding on to the ashes, refusing to acknowledge that this isn't aligned with you and that you're done with it. You're reinventing yourself. You're nurturing yourself, and this is the time to finally focus on your goals. Ask yourself the question, if money wasn't a problem at all, what would you be doing and how would you be spending your time and your life? You can always make more money. Money is just paper and it's numbers. And I know that when you are financially struggling and you can't even have food on the table because you don't have any money, I understand it's a lot easier to be like, oh, well, that's a load of shit. But when it really comes down to it, how are you spending your time and your energy? Because you can always make more money, but you can never get your time back. Are you scrolling on your phone for 6 hours at a time? Or are you living life and you're reading, you're creating, and you're actually thriving, not just surviving? drink a lot of water. You need to hydrate your body, and unless you're drinking like 6 gallons at a time and drinking more than your body weight, it's not going to hurt you. It's just going to help you. And you can set the intention that you want healing when you drink and nourishment. You can do healing super easily just with visualization. You can imagine that bright white light is flowing from the crown of your head and from the outside world of love and light through your crown chakra or just the top of your head and all the way down to your body. You can either have it go slow or you can make it super fast and powerful, but I feel like slow might be the best for you right now, just to have it flow down your body like warm honey and have it fill up every single inch of your body to heal all of you and have it flow back out into this world like you're grounding yourself with the universal love and light and you're a grounded tree. We have the 6 of Pentacles. What you're working on creatively is a slow process, but you will have a lot of abundance with it. You need to trust that you can have abundance with this endeavor and be consistent with it. With the 2 of Cups, this is about balance, choice, and decision. If you are constantly working, you're gonna burn yourself out. Stop and smell the roses. If you are constantly moving, you're not taking a second or even an hour to rest, to stop, and to get out of this chaos. It is so hard to hear your intuition when you're constantly moving. And stillness is where you'll be able to hear yourself and listen to yourself the most. You can do anything you put your mind to, but think about the reason behind your actions. Because you're doing everything out of survival, you're gonna end up settling and doing some things that might just be out of alignment with you or even doesn't align with your morals. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. You need to trust yourself. We have the 4 of Wands. 4 is the number of structure, stability, and foundation. This card looks like a third eye or just an eye in general. Imagine what you are looking for. Focus on what you do want and not what you don't want. Focus only on what you do want, because what you focus on, you're going to be manifesting and it's going to come out some way or another. Anytime you realize that your thoughts are not in alignment with what you're actually looking for, immediately change it. You are using your energy force to manifest your internal and external reality, but it truly does start within. If you are angry and hateful and resentful, that is going to manifest outside so quick and so easy. But if you're grateful, you're present, you're mindful, you're in peace. Gratitude is really the highest level of love and peace. And when you are internally grateful for every single thing that you have in your life, you're gonna find more reasons to be grateful, and vice versa. Anytime you find yourself in the lack mindset, just switch up and think about everything that you actually do have in your life that you can be grateful for. We have the Daughter of Wands. Daughters are typically younger, so they're a little bit more inexperienced. Watch YouTube videos on improving what you're trying to do, whether it's write a book, in business, baking, hair, nail designs, clothing, really whatever you are trying to do, constantly focus on improving. Knowledge is power, and the more knowledgeable you are, the further you'll get in life. We have the Ace of Swords. Swords are about air, getting your voice out there, mainly your thoughts and your communication. There's 2 lightning strikes. What you are focusing on is actually marvelous. It's wonderful. You're incredibly talented. This is something that you have been working on for years or just an overall long time, possibly even past lives. You're very intuitive, and I feel like whatever you do that's for the collective is spot on. You need to share your voice, your wisdom, your stories, and your lessons, because you have learned so much and you have grown so much. You've healed so much, and you can help way more people than you even realize. Just keep going. We have the World again, completion, and the Skin. I absolutely love that the World card came out twice, because the World, honestly, this is just extra confirmation that the cycle that you're in, it needs to come to an end. And in a way, it definitely is, but you need to just take that final step to be like, okay, enough is enough. I'm done. The skin is also the largest organ that we have, and I feel like a lot of people don't nurture your skin as much as they should. Not only taking care of your physical entire body, but also your face, making sure that what you're putting on and in your skin is clean, healthy, unhealthy and it will cause more good than harm. Quantity is not quality. It doesn't matter how many skincare products you have. You don't need a bunch. All you need is a good quality cleanser, moisturizer, and SPF and exfoliant. Overall exfoliating your body to get the dead skin cells off, but not over exfoliating, because if you do, you could damage your skin barrier, you can dry yourself out, and if you're not moisturizing after you cleanse, you're gonna be dry, and no one wants dry. We aim for hydration. You can also massage yourself and feeling more confident in your skin and in your body, loving your body just the way that you are. I know it can be a lot easier said than done, but it shouldn't be. You were not born hating yourself. You were taught to hate yourself based on people around you and based on what other people have said about you, but it's not you. Shake that shit off, let that energy go, and every day I want you to find more things to love about yourself and not less. It's so easy to fall into the habit of over criticizing yourself and being rude to yourself, but anytime there's a mean comment in your head or even in your belief system, overpower that thought and belief with at least 5 positive ones. For example, if you don't like your body weight, find a way to accept first where you're at, accept that you don't like about that part of yourself. Understand what you don't like about it and how you can start loving that part of yourself. Any insecurity, focus on them and focus on accepting them and loving them. It will take time. It's not going to be like, oh, okay, I love myself now, click, and it's immediate. But you can always love yourself more. There's nothing wrong with being in love with yourself, and everyone should be in love with yourself. How do you expect anyone to love you if you don't believe you're lovable? You can only accept the depth of love that you give yourself because you believe you're worthy of that much love. We have the 2 of wood connection. The physical anatomical connections are the liver and the gallbladder. These are filtration systems that are in the body, and the number 2 is about balance. So making sure that you're not overeating for one, but also not putting too much fat and grease and harm in your body. Also, alcohol. I have a very firm belief on alcohol that it is just poison, but I try not to force that on other people. But if you do consume alcohol, making sure that it's not too much. What you do now is going to impact you tomorrow and even in 10 minutes from now. Making sure that what you're doing is in alignment with who you actually are and who you want to be. We have the 9 of water. 9 is about endings, which just confirms this entire reading that there's just an ending coming to the cycle. We have the kidneys and the bladder with manifestation. Do not hold your pee in for longer than honestly 2 hours, because the longer you hold it in, the more difficult it'll be to come out. It can seriously damage your body, not only your bladder, but also your kidneys, which are the filtration system of the urine. It's one thing if you're asleep and you're holding your bladder, but it's another thing if you have the time to get up and to go to the bathroom versus you just don't want to get up. Making sure that you actually stay on the toilet long enough to just get everything out instead of getting up super quickly and then feeling like you have to pee again. I always get mixed up. I think it's the ureter or the urethra. It's the tube that connects the kidneys to the bladder. I think it's urethra, but that's pretty long. And then the ureter, where the bladder actually comes out, that's even longer. So it can take a minute for that urine to travel. And if you hold it, eventually, if your bladder gets really, really full, the urine could travel back up the ureter or the urethra, and it can impact your kidneys incredibly harmfully. Then with manifestation, honestly, just focus on what you do want. Visualization, writing it, and feeling as if you already had it or have it. Feel that gratitude that you have it, and pay attention to what you're putting in your body. Go slow with it. You don't have to eat super quickly because that's how you're gonna hurt your stomach. Go slow and actually taste all the flavors. That's how you're gonna figure out if you like food or not. There was this one sandwich that I got from Starbucks all the time, the tomato caprese, and when I actually sat there and focused on the taste, the texture, and everything that was incorporated with that sandwich, I realized it really wasn't worth the $10, and it wasn't that good, and I haven't eaten it since. And I used to get that sandwich every single time, but it's when I actually took the moment to sit there and be mindful with all of the food. It hurt my jaw. There wasn't actually much to the sandwich, and the taste, sometimes it was a hit or miss, whether it was super cheesy and it tasted great, or it was lacking ingredients and there was barely anything to it. Our next one is the 5 of Earth. We have the stomach. That would be the spleen, but it also kind of looks like a kidney, but that's definitely the stomach. And then we have poverty. So 5 is about change, but it's also about chaos. With poverty coming out, are you homeless? Is the reality that you're living externally what's actually going on internally, and vice versa? If you are focusing on a move right now and you feel like there's a deadline, is that the real deadline, or it's what you're giving yourself? Because I feel like if you're trying to force yourself out of a situation faster than you actually need to be, you're stressing yourself out so deeply, and you're gonna end up rushing into something that if you waited just a little bit, you could have found something so much better. The stomach is what digests all of the food. So breaking down your responsibilities and everything that is on your plate right now and trying to just take the weeds out of what needs to come out, understanding the true priorities, ordering it in a certain number and taking it step by step, not doing 12 things at the same time, because you're not going to make much progress. If you just put all of your attention on one thing, that is how you're going to grow the most, not 12 different things. And the spleen, I believe, is with the hormones, I think. If it's not hormones, then it's some sort of filtration, but I'm pretty sure it's the hormones, as well as the pancreas. We have the 6 of water, innocent, and we have the bladder and kidneys again. Eat more fruits and vegetables, get creative with it, have a recipe first before you even start to meal plan, so you can be like, yep, this is what I'm gonna eat: breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and possibly dessert or another snack. Be generous with the food that you put in your body. If you have to, honestly, what is suggested is to make a big batch of something or multiple things and have either the same meal a few times in a row or a few times that week, just keeping it simple, but making it as quick and convenient as possible. That's gonna end this reading. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely stop by the water, earth, and air, especially if you feel called to it. I hope this helped. Let me know how it resonated. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Welcome, beautiful souls. This is what can you learn from the water element. Water is connected with the Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio zodiac signs or astrological signs. These signs are naturally emotional, intuitive. There's a lot of depth to them, and they can be very sensual. The associated crystal is also this blue calcite. This will help connect you to water as well as the throat chakra. However, the associating chakras with the water element is the sacral chakra. This is your connection to your emotions, your creativity, your sensuality, and your femininity. And it's also connected to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is where you feel everything. This is your love. We have the Empress. The Empress is an energy that is the divine feminine. They are very grounded, but they're also in touch with their creativity. They mainly express themselves in creative ways. So how you dress, how you speak, what you wear, in every sense, and overall just creating in general. We have the Star. When you're connected to your emotions and your creativity, you are completely aligned with yourself and you become this brightness. You're shining your light on everyone that comes in your path and you are blessing them with your energy. The Star is usually all about hope and abundance, and look how unique and beautiful both of these cards are. You are a unique person in general, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You need to start expressing yourself as authentically as possible, and I feel like you already do. Just don't be ashamed of it. We have the Fool. Aw, so far these cards are beautiful. You're starting a brand new journey. This is looks like a little duck, but it could just be a regular bird. But you're at the brand new beginning and start of a new chapter. This is about taking what is necessary and moving towards the future. It's also about trusting the universe and working with the universe, understanding that you are the universe experiencing itself, but working with Mother Gaia to manifest what you're looking for. And all of these colors are also connected with the chakras in general, but with the yellow and the red and orange, that's the main 3. The root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra. This is what grounds you and keeps you safe and stable table and open. Honestly, pleasure yourself more. Do what feels good. Don't distract yourself with visual stimulation. Just ground yourself in your body and do what feels good. You can also make it challenging, or not so much challenging, but just relieve the pressure by taking orgasm off the table and penetration. Because if you take these two off the table, then you're just doing it just to feel good and to pleasure yourself. Whereas if your main goal is orgasm, you're not focusing on the pleasure, you're focusing on the release and the end. But enjoy the journey while you're going through it. We also have the Father of Cups. The masculine energy is very safe and protective as well as nurturing, and connecting it to the cups, you're nurturing your own emotional foundation and stability, finding emotional fulfillment in your everyday life, and spending more time doing just what you love and what feels good instead of having a motive behind it. It's okay to have a specific intention, but if there's an ulterior motive, such as making money out of it, then most of the time it just takes the fun away. Do it because you want to do it. We have the Death card and the Nine of Cups. Along with the Fire pile, you're going through a transition right now where you're ending either a specific cycle or beliefs or just versions of yourself. You're shedding these old patterns and habits, and you're transforming into something even more beautiful. I feel like you have a lot of different options to make money and just be creative in general, as well as a lot of different romantic options. But it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. There's 9 cups right here. No one needs 9 cups. They need 1, 2, 3 at the most. But you don't need all of these options. You just need to pick one good option or 2 and run with it. We have the diaphragm, the Wheel of Fortune, change. The diaphragm is located in your lower abdomen right near your stomach. This deals with your breathing. And a lot of people do not belly breathe. They breathe through just their chest and they stop it there. When you have hiccups, it's actually your diaphragm that is contracting. It's because you're not getting enough air in your abdomen and your lungs. So anytime you have hiccups, just focus on really deep, slow belly breathing. But in general, doing more breath work, calming your body. Anytime you feel like you're getting angry, focus on your breathing. Anytime you're upset, also focus on your breathing. Air is life. If you didn't breathe, you would die. There's a lot of power and manifestation when you focus on your breathing, and you compare it with visualization for Reiki healing, for energy healing. And the Wheel of Fortune is all about change. So you're implementing new habits and patterns that are just going to align you with your highest self and with your true purpose. We have the 10 of Metal, Charmed. We have the lungs or respiratory system and the large intestine or intestine. 10 is completion. And with the lungs, I mean, we have the lungs and the diaphragm together, which is amazing. So that reinforces the statement to focus on breath work and your breathing. That is truly how you can control yourself the most, is just by breathing before you take an action, but also calming your nervous system. If you have sleep problems, focus on your breathing and eventually you'll be able to slowly drift off. Also, aromatherapy, lavender is really good to help relax the body. So if you have sleep problems, that will help as well. But also taking care of your digestive system, sleeping on the left side, preferably over the right, because when you sleep on the left side, it naturally helps the flow of your digestive system because it's going clockwise. But when you're sleeping on the right side, it kind of makes it more difficult for the digestive system because it has to go against the flow. Being more careful with the food that you put in your body, looking at the ingredients, scanning it on the Yuka app, YUKA. It helps to break down all of the ingredients and it rates the products on a scale from 0 to 10. This is not a paid advertisement, by the way. I genuinely use it myself and I recommend it to absolutely everyone. It scans food products and skincare products, so even deodorants and certain soaps, body washes, but it will break down the ingredients and it will tell you how it impacts your body. Using that, especially frequently before you buy anything, to make sure, is the risk of possible cancer or messing up the hormones, or even I saw one or a few where it could potentially damage your DNA. Like, what? But asking yourself, is the risk worth the reward? The reward of possibly just tasting good, or the risk risk of having a stomach ache, being congested or constipated, or even having diarrhea because you chose to eat this thing or use this thing. You can apply that to anything in your life. If you are an aggressive driver, is the risk of not only your life, but also someone else's and totaling your car worth getting somewhere a few minutes earlier than you naturally would? Is it seriously worth it? Is being with this person or having unprotected intimacy worth the consequences of possibly having a child with this person, having a lifetime commitment? Is adopting an animal really worth all of the effort? Like, these are just examples, but they're serious things to ask yourself. And lastly, we have the muscles, judgment, renewal, stretching every single day, movement, and just moving multiple times a day in general. Try about 10 minutes every single hour. I know it's a lot, but at the same time, it's also not. Your muscles control your entire body, and they don't actually get to rest because there's always a balance. Whether one is resting, that means that another one is currently working. And if your muscles didn't work, you wouldn't even be able to move your body at all. And when a muscle is not used frequently, it starts to apathy, which means it starts to like disintegrate and dissolve and become weaker. So the more you use a muscle, the stronger it will get. This applies to your eyes as well, and your intuition and your skills in general. The more you work on something, the stronger it gets. That's gonna end this reading. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know how it resonated. Definitely stop by the air, earth, and fire pile. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Welcome to What Can You Learn from the Earth Element? The associated crystal is this black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a great crystal to ground and cleanse your energy. It also has masculinity to it, and the masculine energy is all about structure, foundation, and safety. It's also about protection, and the earth element is connected to Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. These astrological signs are naturally grounded, stable, secure, structured, and organized. It's also connected to the root chakra because the root chakra not only keeps us physically grounded, but it also is connected to our boundaries where we end and someone else begins. It's connected to our physical body as well. We have the Five of Swords. Honestly, it kind of looks like a ship and a snake. I'm pretty sure it is a worm that was cut in half, but five is about change, transition, chaos. You're severing two different parts of yourself and you're releasing and letting that old past go. You're taking the lessons and you're saying thank you and you're moving forward. Swords are all about beliefs and our thoughts. So I don't think it's a physical thing. It could be, but I think it's a big internal shift that's changing. And a boat is a vessel that takes you from one place to another. So you're going on this transition where you're going from one place in your life to a different place in your life. You're starting a new chapter, you're turning the page, or you may be just giving that book away and starting a brand new book to begin with. We have the Seven of Swords. You're keeping one eye open. You may not feel truly rested and safe. I feel like right now, honestly, if they fell, they would hurt. So you're trying to make sure that you stay safe and protected in a potentially damaging situation. You're keeping your options open when it comes to different work or different home life, different friends. You're just keeping an eye open because you don't feel safe. And we have the High Priestess. Honestly, the very first thing with this is knowledge, but also intuition. Follow your intuition. I feel like your body and your soul is telling you something and you are choosing to ignore it. You know you're ignoring it. You need to listen to your intuition. You're doing something that isn't usually typical in your surroundings and your environment, but it's still mystical, and you need to do what you are looking for and what will light you up, not what everyone else is doing so you feel like you have to do it. The very first card is the Four of Water, kidneys, bladder, and stagnation. Four is the number of foundations, and with the earth element, the earth is all about materialism, but also foundation, structure, and stability. But since it's the water element in the card, it's structure and stability with emotional attachment and emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. What you spend your most time doing needs to be satisfying and worth it. If you are emotionally detached from what you're doing, there's no satisfaction. It is possible to find enjoyment in everything. You just have to figure out how it will work for you to make it the most fun. And don't overly escape. It's okay once in a while, but if you are constantly escaping, you need to take back control of your life. We have the heart, the Fool, self-care. The heart keeps you alive. It is your life. Once it stops beating, your soul leaves your body and you go somewhere else. When you're disconnected from your heart, your love, your passion, and your soul, you act out in ways that do not match your purpose and your highest self. I feel like you might be setting unrealistic expectations when it comes to a time frame or a goal in general. Now, this isn't to say don't follow your dreams. Definitely do. But when you set too high expectations, no matter what happens, you're always going to feel disappointed because you didn't meet these unrealistic expectations. So maybe reevaluate your expectations a little bit. And you're also just starting a brand new journey in general. You need to have trust and faith in the universe and work with your spirit guides and not all by your lonesome. Take care of yourself. If you're constantly working and neglecting yourself, you're gonna burn yourself out. That is the recipe for disaster and burnout. So doing self-care every single day in some shape or form, you just need to step it up a bit. Lastly, we have the veins, the Empress, contentment. I love that we had the Empress and the High Priestess, and we actually had the Empress in the water pile. The veins are what carries the blood from your heart all throughout your body. They're incredibly important. And with the Empress is a creator, but she's the mother, and the Empress is the nurturing, birthing energy that we all have. Your creativity is what sparks your life. If you don't express yourself creatively, I feel like your life might be pretty dull and boring. So you can step up the creativity as well. And just working with yourself in harmony and not disharmony. That's gonna end this reading for the earth element. Definitely stop by the fire, water, and air, especially if you feel called to it. If not, let me know how it resonated. Thank you for joining me here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time and have a great day. Welcome to What Can the Air Element Teach You, or what can you learn from the air element? The associating crystal is this solidite. Actually, it might be lapis lazuli. I always get them mixed up, but either way, they're both great for communication, which is what the air element mainly is all about. But they're also connected to the Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini astrological signs. And these signs are very independent, they're intelligent, they have a lot of ideas, and they can be a little bit analytical or over analytical. The air element in general is connected with detachment, freedom, creativity, ideas, communication, thoughts, and life, because without air, you would not survive or be alive. It's connected to the throat chakra and the heart chakra. The throat chakra is about communication, self-expression, and truth, whereas the heart chakra, it's also connected to the respiratory system, which is the lungs, and that deals with your air and keeping you alive. I feel like you have a lot on your plate and you're really good at multitasking. Honestly, dial it down a little bit. You may have ADHD, so it could be a little bit difficult to focus on one thing at a time. But as for the cards, we have Judgment, Son of Pentacles, the Sun, the Eight of Wands, the Mother of Cups, and the Hanged Man. So along with all the other piles, you're in a transitional time period where you're leaving a very dark state and area, and you're allowing your light and your soul to come forward, and you're allowing yourself to be seen and to show your authentic self to others. You're getting out of your shell. You're manifesting different financial endeavors, and the Sun is a younger energy, so they're not as experienced. You're in a learning state right now where you just have to research a lot before you can take action, and this is coming to terms with your career and your finances. You need to research first before you take action so you don't make the wrong choice or be too impulsive about it. Work with the moon phases and the external energy as well as your own internal state and internal cycles, just so you're in complete alignment and not trying to force something that is not working. Everything happens in divine timing, and you meet every single person lesson for a reason, whether it's meant to be a quick phone call or it's meant to be a 3-year friendship or relationship. It is all for a reason, and there's specific lessons for every single connection that you have, whether it's with people or it's with animals. The sun is about enjoyment, but it's also a very innocent energy. It's allowing yourself to be vulnerable and letting people in. It's a message of hope that things will get better, and to change your mindset from lack to gratitude, focusing on the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra, really grounding yourself and being in your body, being present and feeling everything within your body and healing yourself. With the 7 of Wands, I heard lightning strikes, or when lightning strikes. Right now is a great time period to jot down all of your ideas, your responsibilities, and the things that you're trying to accomplish, so then you can prioritize which ones are the most important right now. But when it comes to creativity, I feel like you might have just a lot of ideas, and if you don't write them all down, you're gonna lose a lot of them. So write them all down and then focus on 1 or 2 at a time. Honestly, just do 1, 2 at the most, but don't try to do all of it at once, otherwise you're not gonna get very far and you're gonna spread yourself out way too thin. With the Mother of Cups, the Mother is very nurturing and protective, and you can even see this. She is protecting the cups, which is the emotions. Sometimes when we try to protect our emotions too much, we end up becoming detached and we don't get to experience the beauty of life. When you are constantly trying to avoid pain, you also close yourself off to love. You cannot grow without pain, and it's just a part of life. You're gonna get hurt, whether physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, but these are challenges that help you grow. If you didn't experience pain, you would not be able to fully comprehend and appreciate pleasure and love, and pain is part of life. You cannot run from it, and you're just gonna hurt yourself in the process, and you're closing yourself off to so much beauty that's in this world. With the Hanged Man, it's asking you to be patient and to trust the universe. Bats are actually blind, and they fly through what they hear and like the frequency. Trust your body. Someone may be saying something, but if their body language is saying something else, trust their body language. Now, this is not excusing any sort of non-consensual stuff. I'm just referring to if someone says they love something of yours, but their mouth is turned downward, and when they say they love it, their head shakes no, they're lying, or they subconsciously do not believe that. Because if they truly felt that way, their body would be aligning with their words. And if you feel an energy is off, you need to trust that, because you feel before you see, hear, and experience something in someone. Your body is constantly communicating with you. If it feels heavy, scared, angry, and just down when you think of a person, an experience, or a situation, then it's not for you. But if you're offered an opportunity and you feel excited and light and overall feel great, that is confirmation that it's meant for you and that you should keep doing this. We have 2 of Metal, boldness with the respiratory system and the large intestine. We have the 9 of Metal with the respiratory system as well as the large intestine again. This one is luck. And then we have the Ace of Earth with the spleen and the stomach, and we have payoff. So boldness, luck, and payoff. The creative endeavor that you want to do full time, it's going to require a lot of patience, putting yourself out there, communicating with people that you don't usually communicate with, and getting out of your comfort zone, because you can't grow in comfort. Now, there's nothing wrong with being in a comfort zone. I mean, it's called comfort for a reason. It provides you safety. But if you want to expand, you need to reach out to people and have other people know who you are. Talk to random people that you think are aligned with your business or with what you are trying to accomplish. Possibly look into mentoring, either giving or receiving, therapy, coaching. With time and consistency and patience, it will manifest. You truly need to believe that whatever you're working on is going to manifest at the right time. It will not manifest the day before it's meant to. Just like you can't force a flower to grow, and if you pick it it prematurely, it won't be to its fullest potential. Same thing with fruit. If you're growing fruits or vegetables and you pick it before it's fully ready, then it's not going to taste right. You have to trust the divine timing, your divine plan, and believe in the miracle of life. There are so many positive and amazing opportunities in this world. Use your words wisely, because what you put out, you are getting back. It doesn't matter how sarcastic you're being. If you say something, expect to get it, whether it's positive or negative, which is why you need to focus on what you do want and only what you want instead of what you don't want. That's gonna end this reading. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely stop by pile 1, 2, and 3 for the fire, water, and earth messages. Let me know how this resonated. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post. I'll see you next time, and have a great day.